I don't want us to have it. I told you where the vehicle is.
The truck was actually coming from Ring Road. It missed a step. So as it was trying to gather itself, it fell.
What we are witnessing these days, it is something we can no longer understand.
They should stop telling us and promising us all those promises are fake, giving us distance of promises are fake. We don't want it anymore.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on BeeTv Major News at 6. Reaching you live from Benin City, the Edo State capital. I am God's gift to Omone. Now the news in details. The construction work on the flyover bridge at Ramat Park is progressing rapidly as construction engineers are working tirelessly to ensure the work meets specifications and is completed within the stipulated time frame. As BeeTv News crew who visited the site reports that the project is speedily getting close to completion. The report. The flyover bridge construction at Ramat Park is gaining momentum, with construction workers in full swing. Engineers across sections are working to ensure the project meets specifications and is completed on schedule. Though the traffic congestion in the area is still tight, but commuters and drivers are patient as they understand it is for a good cause. Some residents in the area expressed satisfaction with the work as they commended Governor Okpebholo for his efforts in ensuring that the work is uninterrupted.
Today you can see this is for the history of this state. There is no government that have been able to embark on this massive infrastructural development. And I will give it to His Excellency Senator Monday Okpebholo. He has performed beyond the expectation of the people. And you can see this job is being done to specification.
The construction work at the Ramat flyover bridge now nearing 50% completion, optimism continues to grow amongst the residents and commuters who are looking forward to the ease and transformation the project promises to bring as engineers push steadily towards timely delivery. The bridge stands as a visible sign of Governor Okpebholo-led administration. The flyover bridge construction at Ramat Park is gaining momentum, with construction workers in full swing. Engineers across sections are working to ensure the project meets specifications and is completed on schedule. Though the traffic congestion in the area is still tight, but commuters and drivers.
Comrade Amioleme Noah Idemudia emphasized the squad's progress in curbing criminal activities across the state. He reported a significant reduction in cultism and kidnapping, particularly in Benin City and its environs, since the squad's inception. He also noted a noticeable decrease in court-related violence and killings, stating that they believe Edo people must have been seeing the changes in the whole situation. He attributed the squad's successes to the support of the Edo State Governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, who established the unit, and the cooperation of Edo citizens.
The previous days that we started, I believe Edo must have seen that there's changes in this whole situation. There has been a bit of silence in the killings, not like the everyday story that you hear, this one has been killed here, this has been killed here. So for that reason, we jointly say thanks to the Executive Governor of Edo State for setting up this committee and giving us the privilege and mandate to join him in combating this criminal act. And we thank the people of Edo State too for cooperating with us. Because sincerely, without their assistance too, we won't be able to get to where we are at the moment.
He urged the public to continue their vigilance and report crimes, stating that together they would succeed in the battle. Looking ahead, Idemudia announced the squad's intention to expand its operation to Edo Central and Edo North Central District, with plans already mapped out. He also clarified the squad's mandate, asserting that it is not for political gains or other things, as some people are insinuating. He stressed that the squad was solely set up by the governor to combat insecurity. Idemudia issued a stern warning to those involved in court activities and kidnapping, advising them that Edo State is no longer safe for their activities. He encouraged courtists who are tired of their lifestyle to come out peacefully and renounce, assuring them that they will not face embarrassment. Idemudia also clarified the squad's operational boundaries, emphasizing that they are not authorized to engage in financial activities or independent investigations, saying that the role of the squad is to support the police in crime reduction. And once an arrest is made, suspects are immediately handed over to the police for further investigation. He cited a recent incident where an accuser of financial misconduct against squad members was retracted and an apology issued, confirming that the individuals involved were not part of the squad.
I still beg the general public to please don't hide crimes. Wherever you see something, like I said in the initial, please say something. Let it know. Because together we would succeed in this battle. For today, this committee is not for political gains or any other, like some persons are trying to insinuate. This committee was set up by the governor, like you all know, without any benefit of that, to combat the high rate of insecurity in Edo State. If you are a cultist and you feel like you're tired of what's happening around you, come out peacefully and renounce. You would not be embarrassed. We are not authorized to do any financial activity. So it's like a manpower. We support the police. If we apprehend anybody, we don't have right to investigate or do interrogations. We simply hand the persons over to the police.
The squad carried out a profiling exercise for its members across all 3 senatorial districts in Edo South, Edo Central, and Edo North, respectively. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
Government.
Children are gifts from God, and the birth of a child brings joy to the parents, more so the birth of our quadruplets. For Mr. Egwaseki Augustine Osazuwa and his wife, it is a mixed feelings after the arrival of their quadruplets at the University of Benin Teaching Hospital. The father of the children expressed gratitude to the management of UBTH for clearing the accumulated medical bills related to the delivery and postnatal care of the children, which amounted to over 2.4 million naira. The gesture, according to him, has greatly eased the financial pressure on the family at this critical time. However, Mr. Sazua noted that beyond the medical bills, the family is now faced with the daunting challenge of providing for the daily needs of the 4 infants, ranging from nutrition and clothing to shelter and health upkeep. He disclosed that he is currently an auto mechanic and lacks the financial capacity to adequately support the sudden expansion of his family. While thanking the UBTH leadership and medical team for their professionalism and generosity, Mr. Sazua is now calling on the Edo State government and the general public to come to the aid of the family through financial donations or any other form of support that could help cushion the burden.
Begging the women in Nigeria for support. As for the bill, the UBTH management have cleared the bill. So we are here because I need further support to raise these children. I know because of living is not easy in Nigeria now. So please, I'm begging the women in Nigeria, both home and away, begging for calling for the state governor, the First Lady Office, Ministry of Women Affairs to come to my rescue to raise these children. So it's not going to be easy for me, I know that.
Speaking to BeeTv News, the head of public relations, University of Benin Teaching Hospital, Mr. Joshua Uwela, stated that the hospital, in its commitment to providing compassionate healthcare services, took responsibility for the over 2.4 million naira medical expenses to support the family during this exceptional circumstance. According to him, the support aligns with the hospitals and Ministry of Health program on the comprehensive emergency of obstetrics and neonatal care in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, Edo State. He also used the opportunity to call on the Edo State government, non-governmental organizations, and members of the public to support the Osazua family in caring for the babies, noting that raising 4 children at a time comes with enormous financial and emotional demands.
The woman that was delivered of the quadruplet in our facility here, of course, the babies, a few of them were premature, they came in quite small. So for a very long time, they had to be put in the incubator, right? So they are fairly okay now. They're good, and they have been discharged, and they're good to go home. Special appreciation goes to the management of the hospital as well as the Federal Ministry of Health. Collaborated, and there's a program that the hospital has on ground. As I mentioned, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Health, it's about comprehensive emergency obstetrics and neonatal care for some women that come to the hospital. And there are certain criteria for adjudging those that will benefit from this program. And so when this woman presented her case, she fits perfectly into that subsection of people who should benefit from this program. And of course, it was extended to her. And so everything about her care, her delivery, baby's care, the time spent in the incubator, and everything, which ran into about 2.4, 2.5, thereabout million naira has actually been waived on their behalf. Right? So the hospital and the Ministry of Health are taking that responsibility. So they're good, really. They're good to go home. But we know how it is in the present economy. Managing with a child can be a challenge, let alone somebody who God has blessed with 4. So whatever support that the public can actually give is encouraged. But with the hospital angle, from the hospital angle, they have been cleared, their bills have been made, and they're good to go home.
As the Osazua family navigates the overwhelming joy and responsibility of welcoming quadruplets, their story has become a symbol of both the miracles of modern healthcare and the pressing realities of economic hardship. With UBTA stepping in to shoulder the medical cost, the immediate hurdle has been cleared, but the long journey of nurturing 4 infants simultaneously now lies ahead. The appeal for public and government support is not just a cry for help, it is a call for shared responsibility, compassion, and community solidarity. As concerned individuals begin to take notice, the hope remains that the needed support will come swiftly to ensure the well-being and future of these 4 lives now entrusted to a humble auto mechanic and his family. All financial assistance should be paid into the following account. Name: Egwaseki Augustine Osazua. Bank: First Bank PLC. Account number: 302-464-2522. Or contact BeeTv News on 0808 585 3792 for any assistance. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
Addressing BeeTv News crew, a community leader from Oyo South constituency and former chairman of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, Edo State chapter, Comrade Godwin Eran, alleged that over 60,000 farmers in the constituency want Governor Monday Ogbebolo to expedite the probe into the alleged injustice perpetrated by his predecessor, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, noting that they will not be happy if Governor Ogbebolo fails to probe Obaseki's administration and return their over 3,000 hectares of farmlands which was forcibly taken from them by former Governor Godwin Obaseki. According to Comrade Godwin Eran, the farmers voted massively for Governor Ogbebolo based on his campaign promise to return their lands and rescue them from Obaseki's exploitation. Hence the reason they are reaffirming their appeal to Governor Ogbebolo to swiftly look into the matter.
Well, usually every government is supposed to serve the interests of the people. If a particular government came in and then exploited the people, cheated, and even robbed the poor, a government that is taken over from such government is compelled morally and even legally to ensure that whatever that is stolen or looted from the poor are returned to them. In our own case, brother Governor Godwin Obaseki came in. He took over 3,000 hectares from our people in Orion South, thereby depriving our people of the land to farm. Today, poverty is staring us at the face in Orion South constituency because our people are not able to farm. I want to also make it clear that we are not objecting in any way to any attempt or any effort by government to invest on our land. But we are saying that any government that has to invest on our land must do so with our interests at heart. That is to say, you come to my place, if the land available in my community is 100 hectares, you sit down, we talk. How many hectares can we give you? Can I say, okay, let's share 50-50, or you take 60, we take 40. But not for you to just come in. Was there any formal consent from the community? Certainly not. But just because government bullied the community, and then the community succumbed to pressure. When the current governor was campaigning, he assured us that he was going to return the land to us.
Comrade Godwin Eran added that the farmers of Orion South constituency commend Senator Adams Oshomole for calling for a probe into Obaseki's administration and urged Governor Ogbebolo to resist pressure from those who are advising him not to probe the former Governor Godwin Obaseki.
So we are saying that whatever people like Nelson, Wike, and others are saying that the government should not probe, we are opposed to that. He has to probe. He has to look into the books. He has to ask questions. And then we'll come in. If he now agrees that, okay, the government should deprive us of our means of livelihood, we'll leave him to God. So if you look at it and say, I know, let's do the right thing, then we'll be glad. Others are begging those who have to give them. So the meaning of that is that those who were able to maybe cultivate 20 acres in a year. Now, 20 acres, that's about 8 hectares. Those who were able to do that in a year are not able now to even do 2 acres. And so, because they have to depend on the little land available customarily. We are praying the governor to fulfill his promise, to set up the panel investigate and probe detail how this land was taken and in whose interest. If it is also clear that the company that took it is owned by the past governor, then the whole project is a nullity, because it would have been a profit from corruption. A governor that is in power ought not to use his own power to enrich himself.
Comrade Godwin Iraon noted that they are not against government investment in their community, but it should be based on mutual agreement within the community and not forcefully take their property and means of livelihood. Osarogie Agwebo, reporting for BeeTv News.
Best orator.
The Diamond Jubilee celebration of Barrister Monday Eboigbe, marking his 60th birthday and 30th marriage anniversary, was a well-attended event. Notable guests including the Chief Judge of Edo State, Honorable Justice Daniel Yobosa Okungbowa, former ESA Central Local Government Chairman Prince Shaka Momodu, members of the Nigerian Bar Association and others were in attendance. The celebrants and couple were ushered into the venue in a grand style. Honorable Glory Ozingbe Momodu, in his address, highlighted the celebrants' lives as examples of impact, resilience, and dedication to family, community, and faith, emphasizing that attaining 60 years signifies wisdom and the grace of God.
It is with great joy and gratitude that I stand before you to celebrate this special occasion, the 60th birthday and the 30th marriage anniversary of our dear leader. Today, we are not just meeting or making the passage of time, we are celebrating the life of impact, resilience, and unwavering dedication to family, community, and faith.
The Chief Judge of Edo State, Honorable Justice Daniel Yobosa Okungbowa, and other guests expressed gratitude for the celebrant's 60th birthday and 30th wedding anniversary. They highlighted patience, tolerance, and the fear of God as key virtues that have contributed to the celebrant's success life story.
I admired him and became close to him. He's a hardworking person, knowledgeable, patient, and God-fearing. So, I want all of us to imbibe those virtues, to be patient, to be tolerant, to be understanding, and to have the fear of God.
As you're all aware, my father is somebody who enjoys celebration. I feel like he often finds a new reason to celebrate. Every time I'm speaking to him, he's looking for a new reason to bring everybody together. And a lot of that is because he has so much trust in the fact that when he calls all of you together, you oblige him, you show up, and you celebrate with him.
But I'm happy to say that I was the first, among the first, to discover her. And whatever she is today, I think Monet is. But speaking about Monet, well, I knew Monet in 2004. Time will not be enough. But I was writing a book because of Monet, the village lawyer. I'm also an author. I was writing about the village lawyer because I will see Monet go and make cases in police station and everywhere. He will not charge.
Barrister Monday Eboigbe and his wife, Mrs. Clementina Eboigbe, while appreciating the guests for coming, expressed gratitude to God for another year. They reflected that their journey thus far and prayed for many more open chapters in their lives.
Somebody asked me this morning, say, Monet, why is that when you want to talk to people, you don't look at their faces? I will not come and beg you for food. So if I'm not going to beg for food, I'm not going to beg for an appointment, why will I not talk to you? I will.
Can you hear me?
Best father to my children. In short, the man that knows no impossibility. Everything is possible. You can't tell him this thing I cannot do it. You will still try. Even when the road is not, you can't pass it, you can pass it. He's the best father, he's the best husband.
The celebration culminated with a cake cutting ceremony and the unveiling of a book titled The Resilience of Hope, written by barrister Monday Eboegbe. The book details his life journey, offering insight into characters, life lessons, experiences, and successes.
As you can see, we're all holding a copy each. It's a beautiful book. Well written. It's over.
The celebrants' children, friends, and guests offered the best wishes for the couple.
The celebrant today is celebrating a 60th birthday anniversary, and it's a 30th day in marriage. He's a very good friend, somebody I respect so much, someone who I've seen over the years to be someone who stands firm for the truth. He has always been one of my mentors, someone who has always been there for me.
I am here on behalf of my husband to rejoice with the celebrant and his wife. He's celebrating his 60th birthday, 30 years in marriage, and also a presentation of a book. We rejoice with him. Those three things he's doing are not easy to come by in life.
Oh, the celebrant is a friend, one of my junior friends. Like as I said, I love his resilience and the way he grew up. I know him very well. He's a very straight person.
But it's as if I've known him for a very long time. He's a young man that is very savvy. He knows a lot of things. He understands politics and he plays it well. Monday Bergbe, I'm sure he's a very brilliant lawyer. The way he goes about his life.
Pray that God enriches their pocket, gives them long life and prosperity. In Jesus' name, amen.
60 years birthday of my dad, and I'm very grateful. I give God all the glory that we have come this far. You know, life is hard, you know. I pray that we should see more age and we should make more money to make our life more easier, you know.
Barrister Monday Eboegbe and his wife, Clementina Eboegbe, expressed gratitude to God for 30 years of marriage founded in love, contentment, and patience, and prayed for many more years of celebration.
By His grace, I've had the best of life. I thought at 60, I'm an old man. I just got at 60, I'm just starting life. My life is just starting. I've had a wonderful wife and a wonderful children. And life has been so colorful because to me, what God cannot do for me, I don't need it. Everything I do in life, I wait patiently on God to do them.
I'll say I'm overwhelmed about everything. And I pray God, I thank God, I pray God keep my husband, give him good health, long life, and prosperity.
The ceremony climaxed with a toast for the celebrants by guests, who then joined them for group photographs. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
In a bid to strengthen environmental hygiene practices at the grassroots level, the local government environmental and wash department paid a courtesy visit to the Honorable Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Sir Dr. Lucky Esiegbe, in Benin City, Edo State, to seek the possible collaboration on how to promote environmental hygiene at the local government level. The report.
The delegation, which had key environmental health officers and administrative heads from various local government areas of Edo State, highlighted the urgent need for closer collaboration with the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs to address sanitation gaps and improve hygiene standards at the community levels. During the visit, discussions centered on the need for increased manpower at the local government level to enhance the implementation of sanitation policies, effective waste management, and general environmental oversight. The department emphasized the significance of grassroots level engagement and enforcement to sustain hygienic practices and public health across rural and semi-urban regions of the state. The team also sought the ministry's support in facilitating policy alignment, logistics, and training opportunities to empower sanitation workers and volunteers, thereby ensuring the effective execution of environmental health campaigns.
I wish to formally congratulate you on your recent appointment as the Honorable Commissioner. The professional body is made up of officers with the core mandate of overseeing the safety, well-being, and protection of our environment. However, Mr. Commissioner, permit me at this juncture to intimate you with some challenges confronting the professional body. The cadre is overtly neglected and discriminated against during employment interviews so far conducted into the public service. We want to passionately appeal to His Excellency through the Commissioner for Local Government and Community Affairs to graciously grant approval to the Local Government Service Commission for the employment of additional 387 environmental health officers, or at least additional 21 environmental health officers deployed to each local government area of Edo State. The paucity of funds is militating against the effective and efficient performance of the statutory responsibilities of the department of maintaining and ensuring sustainable environmental sanitation. To this end, we want to humbly and passionately appeal to the Honorable Commissioner to prevail on the various local government councils, not only to make adequate budgetary allocations to environment and water departments, but to ensure that funds are promptly and adequately released to execute environmental health-related programs. It is with great pain we wish to express our displeasure in the appointment of junior officers from other cadres over senior qualified counterparts in the environment department. You agree with me that such appointment demoralizes senior officers, and as such appointments should be readdressed to correct the errors made by the previous administration. We are committed to making Edo State the cleanest in the country while appealing for the issues raised and highlighted above to be addressed.
Responding, the Honorable Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Sir Dr. Lucky Osogbo, acknowledged the department's concern and reaffirmed the ministry's readiness to collaborate towards improving environmental outcomes in all 18 local government areas of the state. He emphasized the ministry's commitment to creating an enabling environment that supports effective grassroots sanitization and hygiene enforcement.
Your role in the local government is very, very key, is very, very vital. The government of the day is also very, very passionate about having a safe, clean Edo. And that is why we say Edo is risen, because the state can only rise when you have put in place those mechanisms that makes a difference between the past and the present. I want to welcome you all once again. This issue of lack of personnel was also mentioned. And I think to the glory of God, we have actually gotten approval to employ more environmental officers in the local government. We don't want to employ, and at the end of the day, we will not be able to pay. Because as I speak with you, the governor has also approved, as a result of the insecurity crisis we are having in the states, we are employing about 2,500 security officers who are going to be on the payroll of the local government. But I'm sure by the grace of what we have done with this phase, we will also look at the issue of staffing.
The visit served as a strategic move to foster stronger institutional collaboration between the Environmental Watch Department and the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. With renewed commitments on both sides, partnership is expected to drive improved sanitation systems, enhance grassroots hygiene awareness, and promote a healthier, cleaner Edo State, starting from the local government level. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
Lawmakers in the Senate chamber on Tuesday approved President Bola Tinubu's 2025 to 2026 external borrowing plan, amounting to over $21.5 billion, 2.19 billion pounds, and 15 billion yen, along with 65 million euro grants. The approval follows consideration of a detailed report from its Committee on Local and Foreign Debts. The funds are expected to finance various critical infrastructure and social development programs across the country, with concessional loans drawn from multilateral institutions, including the World Bank, China Development Bank, Islamic Development Bank, and others. The committee also addressed a discrepancy in the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project, noting that an upward adjustment of $47 million, as well as the inadvertent omission of the $3 million Universal Communications Access Project, which aims to deploy telecom infrastructure in underserved communities.
The Senate do approve the President's request for a total facility for various projects and programs under 25-26 external borrowing plans, comprising of $21 billion, $890,647,912, and $2,193,856,324.4 euro.
Those in favor of the recommendation say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
There was a bit of fracas within the premises of the National Assembly as the suspended senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Idwaga, attempted to access the complex in defiance of a subsisting suspension from the Senate. Amid a heavy security presence, as supporters of the senator almost clashed with the personnel. BeeTv News Harmony Agbafo has more. The consultation train of Bola Oyebamije moved across more local government areas in Osun State as he continued to intimate party members and leaders about his governorship ambition. The consultation train of Bola Oyebamije moved across more local government areas in Osun State as he continued to intimate party members and leaders about his governorship ambition and to seek their support. Party faithfuls trooped out in large numbers to receive him at Ifetedo, the headquarters of Ife South local government.
Our next governor for Osun State.
The governor of Taraba State, Agbo Kefas, has commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the ongoing construction of a 71 billion naira road project linking Nigeria to the Republic of Cameroon. Governor Kefas says upon completion of the project will not only strengthen bilateral relations, but also significantly enhance local and cross-border economic activities.
Of Gembo headquarters of Sadwana local government area in Taraba State now have another reason to appreciate the decisions of their forebears who voted to join Nigeria in the 1961 plebiscite. Despite the town rich mineral resources, it has suffered decades of neglect by successive civilian administrations. However, more than 60 years after independence, the people of Gembo are expressing their appreciation to President Tinubu for giving attention to the area. Their gratitude was evident during Governor Abdul Kefa's inspection of Gembo Leap Road project, which connects Nigeria to Cameroon. Governor Kefas uses the forum to express his administration to President Tinubu for approving the strategic project, stating that his visit to the site was to assess the project firsthand and not to claim credit. He pledges full support to the construction companies and urges them to consider building schools in the area as part of their corporate social responsibility. The governor also acknowledges individuals from the state who contribute to the project and called on residents to set aside political differences and unite for the state's development.
I want to thank Mr. President for his strong will, even though he has never been here, I'm sure. I'm sure he doesn't even know what they're talking about in this place, and I'm sure he might not even remember
but for listening to the plight of the people. I'm sure he has seen pictures and certain things that prompted him to approve. I want to thank him and I want to assure him that we'll continue to remember him in this state.
Engineer Otis Danjuman, the resident engineer representing the Federal Ministry of Works, and Engineer Legacy Matthew, the project manager, assured that the project will be durable and constructed to standard specifications.
And then the length of the project is a 35-kilometer road that will terminate at Lip, which is the border with Cameroon.
The chief of Banga community expressed gratitude to Governor Kefas for visiting the project site. Other stakeholders echoed similar sentiments.
Road not only linking us to Nigeria, I think that the president, through deliberate effort, has integrated the largest part of Kaduna local government to Nigeria.
On behalf of the stakeholders of Kaduna local government, the people of this area, we want to thank the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for this compassionate intervention.
The 35-kilometer road is expected to be completed within 13 months, terminating at Lip community on Nigerian-Cameroon border in Sadwana local government area. It is widely believed that once completed, the road will greatly improve trade and business interactions between border community in Nigeria and Cameroon. Evelyn Isabelle reporting for BeeTv News.
In Kaduna State, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to national security and the rehabilitation of victims of violence. Represented by the National Security Advisor Nuhu Rabidu, the president launched a major resettlement initiative aimed at restoring dignity and rebuilding hope in communities caught by insecurity. BeeTv News' Esohe Oserige has details.
In a significant step towards rebuilding lives in Kaduna State, President Bola Tinubu launched the first phase of Qatar Charity Housing. The initiative, a collaborative effort between Kaduna State Government and Qatar Charity, is designed to resettle internally displaced persons by providing them with secure and sustainable housing. The first phase includes the construction and allocation of 50 fully furnished houses to families affected by insecurity in the state. Representing President Tinubu, the National Security Advisor Nuhu Rabadu highlighted Kaduna's recovery effort as a model for other states, noting the project aligns with broader national goals of fostering peace, security and development.
This event marks a deliberate and meaningful step toward restoring dignity to victims of violence, offering shelter to the displaced, and rebuilding confidence among communities that have borne the brunt of insecurity.
Governor Umar Sani also commended Qatar Charity for its partnership and unwavering support in tackling humanitarian challenges in the state. He announced that additional projects, including more housing units and livelihood support programs, are in the pipeline to further address the needs of displaced communities.
What we commemorate today is not simply a ceremony. It is a solemn act of healing, a vow honored, a covenant fulfilled. It is our way of telling every widow, every orphan, every displaced soul affected by the cruelty of banditry in this beautiful state.
What we witness today is more than just handing over the key of launching initiative. It is a true investment in stability, indigeneity, and in brighter future.
The event culminated in a symbolic handover ceremony where keys to the new homes were presented to the beneficiaries. Additionally, tricycles were distributed to other vulnerable residents to support their livelihoods. The beneficiaries expressed gratitude, noting that the initiative will provide them with a fresh start and renewed hope for the future. Esohe Oserige reporting for BeeTv News.
The Nigeria Customs Service made a significant boost in its anti-smuggling efforts, seizing 28 million tablets of tramadol and other illicit drugs at the One ports. This latest clampdown also led to the interception of more than 1 million bottles of the controlled substance codeine. According to the Customs Service, the 16 confiscated containers are worth approximately 21 billion naira. The service describes this breakthrough as a demonstration of its commitment to curbing illegal imports and protecting the nation's borders and citizens.
Legitimate consumer goods. This modus operandi represents a deliberate attempt to exploit legitimate trade channels while evading regulatory scrutiny. The potential impact of these illicit pharmaceuticals on public health and national security cannot be overstated.
This handover underscores a critical message that our borders are not open to compromise when it comes to the safety and well-being of all of us. The proverb is true that when a stone is thrown into the market, everyone is at risk of losing an eye. All of us are at risk of losing an eye. This effort is therefore not for the sake of NAFDAC, but for the well-being of our parents, our relations, and even unborn children.
Displaced residents in Karasana 2 in the Federal Capital Territory, now relocated to nearby Karasana 3, are recounting a harrowing experience. They allege that during the early hours of Monday, 2 residents were shot by security personnel, further deepening the trauma caused by Friday's demolition.
The displaced Kasana 2 residents now relocated to Kasana 3 shared their experience. They alleged that 2 residents were shot by the security personnel on Monday morning. The demolition, which occurred on Friday, has left many families homeless. The victims are appealing to governments at all levels as well as spirited individuals to come to their aid.
Estate chairman, he stays in the estate too, and the police people does not have badge on their uniform. So they did not allow them to enter. They asked them where are they going to. They said that they are going to their houses that they demolished. They want to arrange their stuff, not for thieves to come and pick it. On the process of talking to them, a policeman said that my uncle was one of them. The other day that they demolished that was challenging them. So one of them now cracked a gun and shot him on his hand. The process of him moving away, they now shot him on his leg. Then the other boy that was with him was like, why are you shooting my elder brother? He did not even say much. They shot him on his chest too. Then they beat 2 of the men.
The police people them put for gate there. What them gone with that demolition there, they still put some police there. So they say they don't go allow for the data. We ask them why. We are indigent. And we are not, our property is still there. We can go there and take some our property. They say lie. Say they give them command. They don't allow anybody to enter. We start talking before they shift one of our youth. We ask them, we are not the criminal. And we don't carry arm, we don't carry anything. Why can't they go and shift somebody before they shift another person again for chase?
For primary school here, see this place, now there they sleep. No window, nothing. Mosquito, the bat children.
Senior Special Assistant on Public Communication to the FCT Minister, Larry Olayinka, described the demolition as illegal and states that Development Control is unaware of it.
I'm also aware that the Development Control Office is also looking at the involvement, that is the involvement of the developer. So because I believe that it is inhuman, it is criminal to just go to somewhere and pull down people's properties, people's buildings, without approval of the government.
The victim awaits government intervention on the matter and seek relief to caution the effect of the demolition. Favor Kolawole reporting for BeeTv News.
The Nigerian Midstream and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, alongside S&P Global Commodity Insights, is leading a 2-day strategic engagement to chart a path toward a locally grounded pricing reference for West Africa, with the goal to create a homegrown benchmark that empowers regional trading, attracts
Despite being a major hydrocarbon-producing region, West Africa still relies on international benchmark from the U.S. Gulf Coast to Northwest Europe for pricing petroleum products. However, these global indices fail to reflect the market reality and supply chain changes unique to Africa. Establishing an African reference market is the focus of a two-day strategic engagement hosted by the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority in partnership with S&P Global Commodity Insights. According to NMDPRA, establishing a regional pricing reference points will boost petroleum products trading across West Africa, providing real-time pricing that reflects the region's unique market dynamics.
Nigeria is rapidly evolving into a midstream and downstream trading zone. Nigeria has an active maritime coastline that links all West African markets, deep sea ports with modern technologies and infrastructure, as well as regulatory framework that supports world-class standards of maritime operations. These factors have positioned the country as a viable hub in West African energy sector.
The Minister of State Petroleum Resource Oil calls for greater private sector investments in refining capacity, urging the development of more local refineries, import dependence.
Dangote refinery alone may not be enough. And that's why we're happy that, other refineries are also coming up. BOA is building, other, people are also building, because whatever you build here, it's not to service only the Nigerian market, but services the entire African continent.
Industry stakeholders acknowledge the high capital and complexity involved in refinery construction, but emphasize the long-term benefits and self-sufficiency.
To remain viable, we urge the governments across Africa to take deliberate steps, as the US, Canada, and EU have done, to protect domestic producers from unfair competition.
At NNPC, we are not waiting for the future, we are building it. Through the strategic review and repositioning of our refineries, our strategic equity in the Dangote refinery, condensate opportunities, and our support for other third-party projects, we are laying the ground for a self-sufficient refining ecosystem.
Although West Africa now meets 31% of its petrol needs through regional refining, their heavy reliance on imports underscores the urgency of developing a local pricing mechanism to support energy security and economic independence. The goal is to build a transparent African-led oil and gas pricing system built on regional collaboration, regulatory alignment, and a shared drive for economic sovereignty. Favor Kolawole reporting for BeeTv News.
The Nigeria Customs Service says it is stepping up efforts in its fight against smuggling, with over 1.8 billion naira worth of contraband intercepted across the southwest within 5 weeks. At a media briefing in Lagos, the service confirmed that 9 suspects have been arrested in connection with the seizures.
Representing the Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, the National Coordinator of Operation Wild Wind, Assistant Comptroller General Isan Ejibinu, revealed that the Federal Operations Unit Zone A, in collaboration with the Wild Wind Task Force, conducted 102 enforcement operations in the region. He gave a breakdown of the seizures, warning that the service remains fully prepared to confront economic saboteurs.
We have a total summary of about 3,500 bags of foreign parboiled rice, 50 kg, equivalent to 6 trailer load. We have about 304 kg of cannabis sativa, otherwise known as Indian hemp. We have about 7,900 liters of premium motor spirit in 316 jerrycans of 25 liters each. The Nigerian Customs Service will not relent. We remain steadfast in our mission to ensure that Nigeria's borders are protected against all forms of illegal trade and smuggling activities.
Fuel smuggling, he says, remains a major concern with significant economic implications, as he reaffirmed the service's determination to dismantle smuggling syndicates through intensified surveillance and intelligence gathering.
It is pertinent to note that the smuggling that is being witnessed within the country does not only result to revenue loss for the country, but also places additional pressure on already strained fuel supply chain in the country. At a time when the nation is grappling with energy distribution challenges, we cannot afford to allow saboteurs to compromise our national interest for personal gain.
And an overparcel of seized cannabis sativa to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, it was revealed that in addition to seizures, the unit recovered 95.6 million naira in unpaid custom duties from non-compliant import and export transactions over the same period. Is Soher Osemeki reporting for BeeTv News.
And now moving to the business world, where digital financial services platform PalmPay has been named amongst CNBC and Statistac's 2025 top 300 fintech companies in the world. This marks the second consecutive year the company has earned the recognition, placing it alongside leading global firms such as Revolut, Nubank, and Ant Group. Let's join BeeTv News' Esohe Osebege for details of this and more from the business world.
The recognition highlights PalmPay's ongoing effort to promote financial inclusion in emerging markets. The platform, which currently operates as a full-service neobank in Nigeria, offers services including fund transfers, bills payment, credit, savings, and insurance through its mobile app. PalmPay has over 35 million registered users and processes up to 15 million transactions daily. It operates a nationwide network of over 1 million agents and merchant partners, along with POS and API-based financial solutions tailored for merchant and enterprise customers. President Bola Tinubu has directed that the National Single Window platform must become fully operational by the first quarter of 2026. This directive was issued during the 5th meeting of the National Single Window Steering Committee held at the State House in Abuja. The NSW is a federal government initiative aimed at digitizing and streamlining trade processes through a unified electronic platform for import and export operations. The platform is designed to enhance transparency, reduce trade costs, improve efficiency at ports, and boost Nigerians' global trade competitiveness. Key stakeholders, including the Ministry of Finance, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Nigerian Customs Service, and the Ministry of Trade and Investment, have been tasked with refining their targets and key performance indicators to meet the Q1 2026 go-live deadline. The project is considered central to Nigerians' goal of achieving a 1 trillion economy, as outlined in recent reform initiative, including the Task Reform Act signed into law in June 2025. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NERC) has reported that Ajaokuta Steel Company Limited and its host community accumulated 5.63 billion in unpaid electricity bills in 2024. Despite receiving great services and energy supply during the year, the company made no remittances to the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading PLC or the market operator. According to the NERC 2024 annual report, Ajaokuta Steel received energy invoices totaling 5.19 billion and service charges of 440 million naira, none of which were paid. The Commission has escalated the issue to relevant federal ministry, warning that continued non-payment could result in disconnection from the national power grid. Ajaokuta Steel, conceived in the late 1970s, as a cornerstone of Nigerians' industrialization, remains largely dormant. The federal government has recently initiated talks with Chinese steel firms to revive the complex. Despite its non-functionality, the company continues to accumulate energy-related debts. The federal government has launched the National Soybean Production Expansion Policy and Strategy with a target to cultivate 1 million hectares of farmland and produce 460,000 metric tons of soybeans within 2 years. This initiative aims to improve food security, reduce import dependence, and strengthen Nigerians' global competitiveness in soybean production. The strategy was announced by the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, citing Nigerians' current annual soybean production of approximately 1.35 million metric tons against a domestic demand of 2.7 million metric tons. The demand is driven by the growing food, feed, and industrial sector. Benue State is positioned as a lead state in the initiative. The state government announced plans to double its annual soybean output from 202,000 to over 400,000 metric tons within 3 years. This will involve engaging over 200,000 farmers with high yield, disease-resistant seeds, and deploying mechanization clusters. The national strategy is expected to generate 3.9 trillion in annual revenue, create 1 million jobs across 22 states and the FCT, and strengthen Nigerians' role in the global soybean value chain. The plan includes improved extension services, climate-smart agricultural practices, and increased processing capacity to enhance value addition. And that is the end of the business news segment. I am Esohe Osamegi, reporting for BeeTv News.
And now looking at the global scenes, where the son of a woman who died at the recent Air India crash revealed that her casket contained the remains of other individuals when it was returned to the UK. Also, Kani says Canada won't settle for a bad deal on U.S. tariffs. Let's join BeeTv News correspondent Harmony Akbafo for details of this and more from the global sense.
The son of a woman killed in the recent Air India crash has said that other human remains were found in her casket after her body was returned to the UK. Maitan Patel, who also lost his father in the crash, expressed distress and concern about whether other victims' remains had been mixed in. The Daily Mail reported similar incidents involving mix-ups with victims' bodies, while India's foreign ministry emphasized that the remains were handled professionally and in line with established protocols. It acknowledged the issue and said it is working with UK officials to address the concerns. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada won't accept a trade deal with the US at any cost, stressing it must benefit Canadians. With an August 1st deadline looming, US President Donald Trump plans a 35% tariff on Canadian imports if no agreement is reached. The US has already imposed steep tariffs on Canadian goods, including a 50% duty on aluminium and steel. Carney signaled potential new measures to protect key industries like aluminium and lumber. Despite strong trade ties, tensions have grown since Trump returned to office and introduced broad tariffs citing manufacturing protection and drug control. Data shows little fentanyl enters the US via Canada. Sudan's conflict is intensifying as the Army and Rapid Support Forces (RSF) battle for control of the Kordofan region. Experts doubt that the Army can break the RSF lines, as many RSF fighters are locals defending their communities. Army airstrikes in West Kordofan have killed civilians and provoked anger, with the RSF threatening to strike all facilities in retaliation. Both sides face accusations of targeting civilians, with UNICEF and UN condemning recent massacres and bombings. The RSF may soon launch an offensive on Al Obeid, raising fears of more deaths. The fight for Kordofan could mark a pivotal phase in Sudan's war. Over 100 humanitarian and human rights groups, including MSF and Save the Children, warn of mass starvation in Gaza and urge urgent international action. They report civilians and aid workers are starving, with many collapsing in the streets. The UN and aid agencies cite severe malnutrition, especially among children, and Israeli restrictions on aid access. Israel denies responsibility, blaming the UN for distribution failures. While the UN accuses Israeli forces of firing on civilians near aid convoy, aid groups say the system is failing and demand a ceasefire, open borders, and a return to a UN-led humanitarian response. And that is all from the global scenes. Harmony Agba for reporting for BeeTv News.
And now moving to the entertainment world, where Nigerian gospel singer and former Project Fame winner Chidinma Ekile has shared a personal testimony recounting a critical spiritual experience that nearly led to a suicide attempt. Also, Big Brother Naija credited for career boost by former housemates. Let's have details of this and more from the entertainment world. According to the singer, she underwent a 90-day period of spiritual retreat marked by isolation, fasting, and prayer in search of divine guidance. During this time, she spent her days and nights outdoors, engaging deeply in music and prayer as forms of spiritual expression. Chidinma described the retreat as emotionally intense, involving significant spiritual struggles and moments of profound internal conflict. She stated that the experience heightened her awareness of the presence of God and transformed her perspective on life and material possessions. Chidinma's testimony has drawn widespread attention and sparked discussions amongst her followers, many of whom commend her openness and spiritual strength. In another development, where Nigerian singer Temilade Openiyi, professionally known as Tems,
has joined the Spotify Billion Club following the success of the song Wait For You, a collaboration with Future and Drake. The track surpassed 1 billion streams on the platform, earning her the prestigious Spotify Billion League. Tems now joins fellow African artists Wizkid, Rema, and Tyler in receiving this recognition. Wait For You previously earned Tems a Grammy Award in 2023 for Best Melodic Rap Performance and marked her as the first African artist to debut at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts in 2022. Former contestants to the Big Brother Naija reality TV show have credited the platform for significantly transforming their careers and professional lives. During an event celebrating TV host and former housemate Ebuka Obi Uchendu's birthday in Lagos, several ex-participants reflected on the show's impact. Ebuka stated that the platform redirected his professional path from law to television hosting. Actress Bisola Ayeola acknowledged that although she had ambitions in entertainment, Bibi Naija accelerated her success. Actor and filmmaker Elozonam noted that the show increased his brand visibility, while Mercy Eke, a former winner, described it as transformative for her entire life and career. Other housemates, including actor Gideon Okeke, credited the show with elevating their public profile. Kim Oprah highlighted the global exposure the platform offers, and Adekunle, a podcaster, acknowledged the broad audience which it provided. Singer Laycon affirmed that the show significantly elevated his music career. Legendary rock musician Ozzy Osbourne, frontman of Black Sabbath, has died at the age of 76. His death occurred less than 3 weeks after Black Sabbath farewell concert in Birmingham, his hometown. Osbourne's bandmates, including Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward, expressed their grief and remembered their time together, particularly the final performance. Osbourne, known for his dynamic and controversial stage performance, was widely recognized as a pioneer of heavy metal music. His influence on the genre earned him tributes from numerous artists and bands. Metallica described him as a hero, icon, and mentor, while Henry Rollins of Black Flag emphasized his central role in defining heavy metal. The global music community has acknowledged Osbourne's legacy as one of the most influential figures in rock history. And that is it from the entertainment world. God's Omone reporting for BeeTv News.
And that is the size of our news package for tonight. Many thanks for joining us on BeeTv Major News at 6. I remain God's Omone. Have a good night.